Trouble.
Trouble is here,
Somebody's
ladies and
crashing
gentlemen.
the party.
Talk about timing.
Woo, good one. That was pretty sweet there, Keith.
Something just came up. I gotta go.
As soon as I finally hit it, it says 1. No, I was trying to get in there earlier, and it's like I had to restart the whole computer. It wouldn't allow me to use my mic or anything. And I also thought you was going at 8:30, so that made me a little late.
No, sorry, but I tried 8:30 for a while, but if we get into a good conversation, then we go, 9:30, 10, 10:30, well, my time. So it's just a little too late. So I was just like, just start at 8. That's what people were used to before, and we'll just stay there. And however big the audience is, so be it.
I got to change
good
my...
evening, everybody. Hey, I got a nice little awesome panel with us tonight. And I got multiple special guests here. I want to introduce Miss Paula. Her and I haven't really interfaced other than maybe through chats here and there. And I'm going to move. Put all the stars on top. And I'm going to... That's right. There we go. Well, wait. There we go. Boy, girl, boy, girl.
I need to be down the bottom. I'm no star. I'm just a guy.
So we got Miss Paula on panel. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is we're going to kind of deviate a little bit from the little topics I left in the discussion. We'll circle back. I don't like saying that circle back because somebody
circle back.
We'll what's a good word for replace?
Revisit.
Get to those topics.
Revisit, or in the military, double back.
Double back, yeah.
Revisit. Yeah, we'll revisit those and see what's going on. And then I wanted to thank Frostbite for joining us. He did a show this morning, kind of a warm-up show also for Coin Crew. Had a really excellent auction.
He's been going at it all day.
And Frostbite and Miss Paula had a really great conversation on the show this morning, and I was kind of hoping to bring them both and kind of pick up where we left off in a way, because I thought it was really cool, and just take it from there. And then Mr. Keith, great show today. Looks like I had a good crowd, nice wide variety of yummy yummies for everyone, and a nice big end of the show wheel.
Yeah, it was a nice wheel today.
Yeah. And then, of course, that guy. That guy.
I'm just here for the sound effects.
I love it.
Yes, it's still sitting in a box right over there.
I'm not saying anything.
Anyway, all right, let's start. Saying hello to everybody in the chat. All these trains and coin collecting, good evening. Thanks for joining us. And of course, we have Frostbite Coin and Collectibles here on the panel. We have Miss Paula. Good evening. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you for being here, because you are well established in our community. And any chance to collaborate, it's awesome. Well, this is a great learning opportunity for me, because I'm really more on the stacking side of things. So
that's
what do
awesome.
I know?
Look, and the two the silver stacking and gold stacking and numismatics, they cross for a lot of people in the community. So
yeah, and to give maybe the three of you a tease, I kind of wanted to get y'all's opinion on this. Let me switch. Okay, this is from my grandfather. My dad, a couple months ago, he gave me this box, and I have a lot of Morgans, I have a lot of peace dollars in there, and then I have a small stack of coins that are in flips like this, and this is the oldest one in that group, and it's 1857, I believe. It's
Flying Eagle.
Yeah, I believe is it 1 cent, I believe?
1 cent.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have no clue, what it is, what it's all about and everything. But the fact that it's, one, it's my grandfather's, and then two, it would be the oldest coin that I have. So obvious, whether it has value, collecting value or anything like that, it's staying with me because this is Grandpa Bullies.
I like it a lot. It's a small letters, I think.
I don't know. He's got the letters.
There, yeah, small letters.
Yep, that's small
That's
letters.
what it looks like.
I have no clue what that means. Well, I understand.
The letters are smaller than the big ones.
Yeah.
Two different varieties for that year.
Hey, somebody with the sound, the stream deck, you forgot.
And there is Keith, king of the obvious. Yes.
I just came up here to razz Paula.
That's okay. I can take it. Come on, bring it.
Oh,
There we
pretty
go.
well done. Yeah, I just said it's smaller than the big one.
We
So
haven't
Don,
talked
that's
in a long time.
actually, if Paula and I have had conversations about this, the Flying Eagle cent is actually one of the coins I would like to see through the discussion that we're talking about today. And so it's kind of befitting that you put that coin on there, because Paula and I have kind of talked about that.
Oh, really?
A couple
Okay.
times.
Well, cool.
So,
Maybe the three of
kind
us
of
can
befitting.
collaborate. Maybe the three of us can collaborate on that. No, I can use mine for an example.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you guys,
No, I'm
you
serious.
three can collaborate on which one of you three want to give me one.
That would not be me.
Well, so out of the three of us, which one of us has a coin shop?
That would be Keith.
No, because we wasn't talking about me. We was talking about John, Paul, and Frosty.
It's okay,
Yeah,
Paula.
I'll
We
And
give
out
got
of
you-
the three
I'll
of
give
you,
you one, all right.
Mike will take care of us.
you guys
That's
were
right.
talking about collaborating, just you three, weren't they, Gen X?
That's the way I heard it.
Yeah. So where's
Well,
the coin shop thing coming in?
Here, I won't put it on the microscope, but
So that's a good looking Flying Eagle scent. Many of them are dogs.
Damaged in extreme
Yeah.
war. It has a
Because
little bit of,
they spent them. People spent them.
yeah, it has a little bit of excessive dings, but as far as wear, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of
pretty
cool.
little-
No, it's in great
pretty little
shape.
scent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
even
then-
an AG3, it's a $30 coin.
Well, it was Grandpa Bully, so it's definitely staying with me. And let me get through the
Sentimental value
chat.
will always trump
Yeah, let
numismatic
me get
value.
through the chat. Let me greet everybody, and then I wanted to bring up these. I have 3 of these from Grandpa Bully. So, Andy, thanks for joining us. Good evening. And then Mr. Dennis D. There we go. Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a great panel tonight. I think we're going to have a lot of fun here. And we have our friend from Marion, North Carolina, Jack. Good evening. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. And we got Pete Clark. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. And look at what we got. We got Stacking Surfer, our friend from California. He is a really awesome guy. Congratulations for hitting the 1K subs. He had a celebration. You guys know I hate using the term giveaway, but that's just the nature of our community. But the reason I don't like saying it is because you get people who really don't support your channel and they just lurk. And I use the bad side of lurk. Just come in because they want to get free stuff and walk away. And there's no proper legal blah blah whatever way that you can help.
No, because how do you prove it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that.
I've been here the whole time.
But
No,
anyway,
I'm going
aside from that,
people
Stacking
free
Surfer,
stuff.
thank you for joining us. And his channel's just exploded. He has a wealth of knowledge. His background in various fields, tech field, finance, and other things. Him and I have talked once or twice, and he's. I'm going to knight him as a new channel mentor for me. So I'm going to be talking more with him as time progresses. Okay, who else?
You gonna
we
make
got
cards
here?
for that?
What's that?
You gonna make cards for that?
Cards. What kind of cards?
Mentor cards?
Mentor? Oh, you mean like Stormy?
Yeah.
They're like playing cards.
Yeah. No, Stormy made these like these little out of metal, and he had all the different levels of channel membership on there, and he even made one that said moderator. It was blue, and I had, for whatever reason, he sent me 2, so I gave that guy won because he's a mod on Stormy's channel. Anyway,
Stormy, is that so? That's the
Empire
guy that
Precious
used to
Metal.
wear the.
Yep.
He's a teacher, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have not. You guys, I don't know if any of you remember Novus.
We don't know until you tell us.
Novus was a bad boy, and Stormy when he hung out over there, and I don't know why he hung out over there, but he
When you
did.
say Novus, who you talking about? Novus Star Stacker?
No, I'm talking about it's your boy Novus. Anyway, no, he's not around anymore, but he was not family friendly. But I haven't seen him since then. So I don't
know. He was before me.
Yeah, I haven't. He's got a new Empire. He took his helmet off, right? Okay, sorry.
Water
I don't-
Possibilities. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
I haven't seen him in a long time, so maybe because he changed his channel name, I don't know. Lost touch.
I have a very young channel. There's a lot of people I don't know.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's your Indiana
Hoosier
Stacker. I always do that because I don't know the name of that announcer guy that does that, but he does it for the Indiana. When they for basketball. So I saw it somewhere on YouTube, so I'm just going to do it myself. So that's Hoosiers thing. Good evening, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. We got Mr. Doug Wagoneer. Well, Mr. Doug, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. And just add update. We got Mr. MJ Boudreau. How you doing? Thanks for. I don't know if I said hello before, but you got another hello anyway. And then that guy joined us. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Of course, we got Keith. And I think we caught up with everybody to chat. I think so. All right.
No, you missed a couple of people down the bottom. Did you say hi to Dennis?
Yeah, earlier I believe. Yeah, Dennis D. And then
I didn't hear it.
Then we got Miss Brown Sugars here. Good evening, and yeah,
Squirrel.
Where is it? Yeah, there's the. I'm not going to show you, but from a distance, there's the idea for your jingle and Kiddo Mine's jingle. So I just need to record. They're gonna be good.
What are you talking about? Jingles for who?
Well,
right? I know. I want to know too.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little friendly competition between me and Tiny.
Okay.
When Brown Sugar and Kiddo Mine come on,
Brown sugar.
Yeah, he does that
0,
brown
0,
sugar 0069. Something like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna top him, and I'm gonna get my electric guitar out and actually record something.
There you go.
Poor Tiny.
Yeah.
And then hit your
He's
Stream
doomed.
Deck button, right?
Something
Did
like
you ever
that.
hook a Stream Deck up? No.
It's
Well,
only
no,
been
that's the whole
sitting in the
point.
box for a year.
Yeah. I want to record the 2 bits, so then when they come on, just hit the Stream Deck.
Is your Stream Deck hooked up yet?
No.
It's not even out of the box. He hasn't even cut the tape on it. When you ask him to play his Stream Deck, it's
That's what a Stream Deck sounds like. I believe it. There's a lot of people in here, dudes.
Yeah, this is great crap. I
Awesome.
appreciate y'all
Make sure
being
you
here.
guys hit the like button.
I did.
And okay. We originally had what I've been trying to do with the live streams is put kind of a little outline or list of topics in the chat. But today I was in the stream with Frostbite, and Miss Paula was with them, and they were talking about the U.S. Mint doing the survey for the 2026 quadrature amplitude modulated super mega centennial survey. By the way, quadrature amplitude modulation is a real thing.
Yeah,
it's
nothing.
it's the analog method by which the initial cell phones were used. So if you want to talk about that frequency stuff, let me know. But yeah, so
Yes,
QAM, as
Dennis,
it said,
there
it's a real
is.
thing.
Yes, Dennis.
Anyway, let me go.
Yes, we were talking about the semi-quincentennial for 2026.
That's it. Semi-quincentennial. Good.
Dennis is asking if there's a live on Monday.
Yes, there is a live on Monday.
You didn't address it. I didn't see you type it. So
You did.
I
said
did.
just a
I
second
answered
ago.
it. You got a banana in your ear again.
No,
Not
Keith,
showing
I
up.
tell you, man.
trim your ear hair.
No,
She
when I
did
went over
say
to
it.
the shower to work because I trimmed my hair up again. I took a shower last night after I cut my hair myself. Wife trimmed it up and made it nice and
Looks good. Looks good.
it's nice and
That's
spruce.
fine.
Very high and tight.
And so I tipped my head into the shower, and I've got my head sticking in the shower, and the spigot goes right in my ear. And it still feels like there's water in there.
Thanks for asking, Dennis.
Take the screen move
What
over
are you,
here so I
what are
can
you
see.
doing, John?
I am. There we go.
Trying to find the right screen.
Yep.
He doesn't know, but I'll give a little plug for Paula in the group. It's live Q&A, and they specialize in varieties and errors. So if you have any type of variety or error questions, or just want to learn about them, that is an excellent
There
resource
we go.
here on YouTube.
Thank
I need to
you.
go.
Currency, if we don't know the answer, if you have something, a world coin or currency or a token, we can, if we don't know the answer off the top of our heads, we can find it for you. But Sean and Shannon are really good with currency too.
Someone came in my shop, said, "What's that guy's name over at he kept going like that. I don't know. What? And he goes, Blue Ridge. Then that's Sean. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that guy.
He couldn't think of his name or the channel. It was kind of funny. He said he watches them all the time.
Yeah, Sean's a good guy. Mm-hmm.
Then I showed
Oh,
him
what
when was down in Tulsa.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I had the. What I was trying to show everybody is the.
The mint thing. You had that up earlier.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on with OBS? It's not like playing nice.
I'm very excited about 2026.
There we go.
About the coinage in 2026. I'm very excited.
Lower
about
the prices.
I'm kind of nerding out. Yeah, they'll all be brand new, and they'll be face value.
How's that?
That's about as low as it can get.
It could be cheaper.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
The discussion from this morning, Frostbite and Paula, was this, celebration that's coming up in 2026, and they were kind of focusing on what this survey is all about. So I just thought I kind of wanted to continue that conversation a little bit, and so that was the splash page to the main page, and then it brings you up here, and then kind of talks about what's going on here, and then you can say the Mint wants to hear from you, and then you can go over here, hit this button, yeah. Do you're about ready to go to some other website to give a survey, blah 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 blah.
There's like 5 or 6 things too. It takes like 2 minutes.
It doesn't take long. I actually already did that this morning, but I just kind of I'll just leave it here on this page as kind of a little splash. And so what, you guys were talking about ideas and what would be some neat things to come out, and I actually had 2 suggestions. Let's go back to full screen here.
Let's hear it.
And there we go.
I did find out one thing.
Yes.
Frostbite, we cannot use your idea because there is legislation that the United States cannot have 2 busts on a coin on both sides. They cannot. There's legislation against that. So sorry. Sorry.
You can't have the bust dollar on there because you can't.
You can't. Yeah, you can't do that. Can't do that. And the designer.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Darn it.
I thought they had to have an eagle on the reverse quarter and larger.
No. Okay, Keith,
I'm
have
just
you
asking.
have you looked at any coins lately?
I haven't looked at a lot of them. No.
Hey, Metal Scholar, good evening. Thanks
Yeah,
for
I've
joining
noticed.
us.
I've been noticing that there's not eagles on all of them.
Since
Trippy, thanks
1999.
for joining us.
Isn't that
Oh,
messed up?
sorry, my grandkids screaming in the background there. Since 1999,
AJ, thanks for
there's
joining us.
been something other than an eagle.
I know. Isn't that messed up? I liked it when they had the eagle on there.
So
Even
Don,
though they
before
did
we
one on Franklin.
Yeah.
Before we talk about your idea, let me do something really quick. And that is, let me talk about the categories that are actually on the survey that
Okay.
the U.S. Mint has issued, that is put out. So when you actually take the survey, what's going to happen is it's going to come up and it's going to talk about some items. One of those items is going to be struggle and process, two sides of the same coin. So the struggle is going to be on the one side. So it may be like women's suffrage, and then it'll be the act of 1919, right? Or it'll be civil rights, and then it'll be the act of 1913, the abolishment of slavery. They have knowledge-based democracy, which is another subcategory that's going to be there. Depictions of historic figures. They're going to have the ideas that define democracy. Now, these are Declaration of Independence. These are the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Again, the Constitution comes a little bit later, so we had discussion about the Constitution, but Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights. The major categories that were listed was abolishment of slavery, 13th Amendment, women's suffrage, which is the 19th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act of 1974 or 1964, the Fundamental Freedoms Protection and First Amendment right, founding principles and shape of American identity, the close reading Declaration of Independence. Now, the close reading of the Declaration of Independence actually talks about like we the people are the forefathers, or it'll talk about specific captured line item elements that carry a new idea, that all men are created equal, or things of that nature. So there'll be key elements
the
in that
thing.
particular structure. Huh?
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, but the thing
We hold these truths, the thing.
right, and so
Well,
all of that, there'll be different subcaptions that will be in there. That was one of the major ones. Now, the one that excites Paula and I, the one that we've talked about for probably 2 weeks now, is the depictions of liberty. Now, the depictions
Yes.
of liberty would be like your seated liberty, the Indian head. It's going to be like your princess coin. It's going to be the dollar the bust dollar, right? The flowing hair, all those different depictions of liberty, which go back to the older numismatic realm, which really excites me. I'm really looking forward to that particular one. And then they go into some breakouts of categories. So obviously, we're talking about the 250 years, the semi-quincentennial,
Declaration of
and where they've
Independence.
been. So they'll talk about where they've been, what they happened, and where they are now. So they are looking at things like when you look at, so for instance, when they talk about the depictions of liberty, one thing about the depictions of liberty is that you have old classic designs, you have old representations of liberty, you have modern concepts and modern designs. So when they talk about these elements, there are subcategories in each one of these elements that further break it out. So when you actually take this survey, take time to read it. Don't just go through and click on stuff because you think it's what it might be. You need to read the description and really understand what exactly it's talking about for that particular category. The boxes, and Don can talk about this because he took it already. There's 5 boxes in this particular set. There's not interested, really don't care, it doesn't bother me at all. And there's extremely interested, really happy, really want to learn about it. And the center one is neutral. It goes on a 5-point Likert scale. So if you're kind of not really whatever, then you just simply click on neutral and you're good. If it's something you really want to focus on, then you hit the one on the right, which is very interested. And if it's something you absolutely don't want to see, then click on the far left. And so that's basically the Likert scale that's set up for this particular survey. The very last question is a fill in your own text, right? This is where Don was going to go, where you have the opportunity to say what you do and don't like, and then what your potential suggestions are. And so that's the general makeup of the survey. So as we're talking about the ideas and what's happening and what you've seen, now you'll kind of have a general construct of what that discussion looked like, what the survey looks like, and what you can expect when you go, if you go, take this particular survey.
Or you can just put down, please refer to Paula Bloom's survey. That would be perfect.
And they'll be
So
like,
many, I don't think many of them probably don't know exactly what we're talking about. So maybe we should talk about like what this survey is for. Because some people don't even know that they're going to see brand new stuff in their change in 2026. Brand new, all of the circulating coinage, every denomination except the dollar coin will have a new obverse and reverse. A new obverse. We haven't seen a new obverse on, well, the quarter, but that doesn't really count because it's still Washington. But
Will the innovation dollar be completed prior to 2026?
I think I read something that there is going to be a new series for the dollar coin. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. It's crazy around my house. My grandkids are going nuts. So I think I did read something that there was going to be a new program for the dollar coin, but I'm not really sure. I thought the innovation dollar though was going to like 2036 or something. I don't know. But
yeah,
I think
so it's 2020 to 2030.
2030.
Okay.
Is when
But there is going to be a new dollar. There is going to be, I think, a new dollar coin.
Yeah. Now, in the actual Coin Act, it states the dollar will not be touched for this particular realm
For
because they have
2026, yeah.
specific ideas for this particular
Yeah.
item. So it will be your normal denomination coins as well as your commemorative coins. So it's going to be the $25 gold, the $2.50. It's going to be the $2.50 silver as well as the $quarter. And
Yeah,
those are
the
going to be
big
the
chunky.
the big chunky one. Those are going to be the 4 commemorative design elements that are going to be on that commemorative coin.
Very, very exciting. I'm super excited.
I'm not.
I am. It's only for 1 year, and I think
I'm sorry.
I think it's going to bring a lot
I
of.
think-
I think it's going to pique
I'm
a lot of
anti-mint.
new interest. I
the
think
mint
a
charges
lot of.
too much for their product.
I think this guy is
I'm talking about
trying to go along
circulating
with
coins.
Keith.
No, I mean, it's
talking
just
about
not.
circulating
I'm not
coins.
trying to be rude here, but I'm not interested in even addressing anything they have to do with the current mint. I want to talk about anything other than the mint.
We're talking about this. This is our circulating coins.
And I understand that, but
A brand new,
again, not to be rude,
obverse
but
and
I'm reading
reverse
what
for
we were-
1 year.
what we were going to be discussing tonight, and that's why I came up. There wasn't nothing about the mint on here, but yet it's been all about the mint the whole time.
Well,
no, this isn't
this
about.
was I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Keith. This was just this is a last minute change, and I didn't want to dwell on it too much. I just wanted to just enough discussion to bring the attention to other folks that maybe weren't on this morning.
But this is really doesn't there is some parts that are going to be like things the mint sells, but they do that every single year, so that's not something new. This is going to be something that is going to, I think, bring in a lot of new collectors. It's going to excite old collectors. It's for 1 year, just like the bicentennial coinage, only this is going to be every single denomination: penny, nickel, dime, quarter, $50.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's just what we're talking about, trying to get people to get in and get their voices heard and
I'll just
have an
be
opinion.
quiet.
Anyway.
Well, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up with this, my show.
Okay.
So I actually have 2 ideas. So the first one is I suggested when I wrote it up, I suggested that they have a 2
They are
coin
Dennis.
metal, actually, metal, not an actual sovereign coin, but a 2 metal set. And on the depiction should be the Apollo rocket on one and the Artemis rocket on the other. Because in 2026, if NASA keeps to their schedule, and if my understanding is correct, that is where we're actually going to return to the moon, and the first female astronaut will take her first steps on the lunar surface.
Too. I didn't know if I was reading that right. I heard that.
I thought it'd be a great idea to have a 2 coin metal, metal, not coin metal, a commemorative set. You have the Apollo, kind of when the first time we went to the moon, and then Artemis, our triumphant return to the moon. and it's supposed to happen in 2026. So I thought that'd be a good idea. And then the other one didn't quite work out as I thought it would. What I wanted to see is a series. You mentioned Frostbite. You kind of gave me this idea. You were talking about Native Americans. Well, the U.S. Army tradition is that all rotary rotary aircraft helicopters are named after the tribes in the United States, and the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary, unfortunately, is 2025, not 2026. I was hoping that they would align to be the anniversary of the United States Army, so they could maybe have another medal series where they celebrate 250 years of the United States Army, and why not have on a medal the depiction of that tribe in which that particular helicopter is dedicated to. So you have the Iroquois, you would have the Apache, you would have the Black Hawk, you would have the Kiowa, and maybe by then, whatever the new replacement system is, maybe it'll have and the Lakota, and hopefully we'll figure out which tribe will be dedicated to the new Black Hawk replacement. So those are my two ideas. So to wrap it up, everybody just go on there if you're into the U.S. Mint stuff, and take the survey. Check out the show that Frostbite did this morning with Miss Paula, so you can get a little more information and enjoy. So let's now we're going to double back, and first topic, it was in my outlines talking about. So with everything that's, we're going into what? We're finishing up the third quarter. We're going to start the fourth quarter. This month is the last month of the government's 2023 fiscal year. And, we got somebody in Washington threatening to take interest rates and put them up. And of course, none of us are financial people. So please do your own due diligence. And so primarily as a stacker, how does that affect me, and how does that affect everybody out there who is stacking gold and silver? And what I wanted to share was, unfortunately, the last couple of months I've had some hiccups. This guy down here, he got bit by a cottonmouth, and he was in the emergency vet clinic for a couple of days. And that was not a cheap veterinary bill, but he is back to normal, and he wants to be on camera, actually. And then I had to replace my hot water heater, and then later I found out after it got replaced, there was some water damage in the garage, so I had to get that fixed. So all my play money, in essence, my play money, my budget kind of got thrown into a loop because I had expenses, and speaking of which, that's why you need to definitely have this sounds like financial advice, but I think this is good advice. You need to have emergency funds ready and available, whether it's in a savings account in a bank or credit union. There's many discussions about that, or you keep cash on hand at home, but you need an emergency fund. So so now I'm back on schedule. I got my first quarter gold last month, and I just now got my 1/10. It's a collectible from the Royal Mint from the United Kingdom, and this is Royal Mint original government packaging, by the way.
What is it? I don't know.
Without further ado, I'm going to open it.
Open it. You got to show it.
And of course, I dropped it. Thankfully,
broken.
No, it's in a capsule. And yeah, Mr. Gen X, I hear you. So let me switch over, and it'll probably be easier to go to the microscope here. Yeah, there it is. This is actually from the United Kingdom. So
Is it gold?
it is gold. This is the 1/10 ounce commemorative coronation.
Oh, in the middle.
That toy does the cricket sound.
Here we go. We got Charles there, and then here is on the reverse. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the coat of arms. Yeah, I was getting it mixed up. So this is only for 2023 that they're doing this as part of his, this is coronation year and everything. And I thought it'd be cool to get actually orders directly from the Royal Mint in the United Kingdom. And this is the original capsule it's in. And by the way, it is, oh, look at that. It's screwed on.
I like that design.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the unicorn.
And
do they put a unicorn on a lot of their coins? Is that like something like symbolic to them?
Well, I believe this. Well, this is the I want to say it's the official family.
Crest.
Royal arms.
Yeah.
For the royal family, I believe.
Yeah, they have some silver ones like that.
With the unicorn?
Yeah, it's because it's the crest, so it's the lion and the unicorn.
People saying hi to you.
Interesting.
Hello,
Yeah.
people.
Anyway, I just thought that'd be fun to share. So that's me returning to my stacking and stuff. So, all right, Keith.
Yeah, she took the cat's cricket toy.
You thought
And then
Gen
it
X
started-
was doing the cricket, but my cat has this little ball and it makes like cricket noises.
And then she took
Wasn't me.
the toy. She took the toy, and then the cat started getting my feet. So I'm
Well, I'm
like,
gonna blame it on Gen X anyway. So
Gen X was like this. I'm magic. Look, my hands are right here. He was like pushing it with his toe.
so what?
here's the other point about this cool little 10th ounce I got. Unlike our mint, I bought this directly from the United Kingdom mint, from the Royal Mint, and that's one of my beasts with the U.S. Mint is why can't we, U.S. citizens, why can't we buy our bullion directly
Did they
from our
sell
mint?
it to you at a bullion rate?
I'm sorry?
Did they sell it to you at a bullion rate?
Mm-hmm.
Or did they charge you more like the U.S. Mint charges on the W burnished eagles?
No, this price on this fluctuated, as
But how
spot price.
far up? That's the question. How far above the melt was it?
Oh, I had to first convert it from sterling pounds to U.S. dollars, and then
Oh no.
Complicated here.
yeah, I actually had to use some calculus on this.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, no, it fluctuated because it is considered a bullion sale. So
Well, everybody has their own premium. Like I was saying earlier, the U.S. Mint's prices are just so out of whack. I am so anti-mint. There's no way anybody should have to pay $80 for a generic ounce of silver. Or in the case of a burnished eagle, you can buy them for what, $30 to $35 right now. But if you want to buy one of the W burnished eagles from them, they want $70. That's ridiculous. They're gouging the people. If you want to buy directly from them, they're offering you a little bit different product, but I don't think that W mint mark. I'm sorry, it just ain't worth it. When I can go buy it after market for a lower rate less than a week later, 30% lower. The same thing.
Janet, Mr. X,
Yes.
speak.
I just listening, learning.
Yeah, what do you think?
I agree with what you're saying. I stopped buying all the proofs and uncirculated eagles, the burnished, I should say, from the mint a couple years ago. as
Yeah.
was well documented in one of the videos that you showed.
Yeah, 'cause, I bought them all.
Yeah, you did buy most of them.
And some of the stuff we didn't even want.
Yeah,
I know,
didn't
I
even
know.
want
You did me a favor, but to each their own. I mean, I don't have anything against if anybody wants to collect whatever they
No,
want
I
to
haven't.
collect, but me, I just soon buy bullion and then collector pieces that I like
vintage.
here and there. So,
I love vintage coins.
And all my Eagles, I buy them already pre-sale, pre-graded. So,
Well, that's a little
and-
different. I don't have nothing against the product itself. What I have the problem with is the prices that the mint charges on any and everything that they sell directly. I mean, because like you was talking, you can buy the bullion directly. I can go to an aftermarket dealer and buy me 2023 uncirculated Eagles for a little over or a little under $2,000 for a 1 ounce, right?
Mhm.
If I want an uncirculated Eagle from the U.S. Mint, they're going to put that W on it, and they're going to charge me $2,800.
What about the Morgan dollars? How do you feel about those?
How do I feel about the Morgan dollars? They saturated the market. They're pushing it too far. The price per ounce is too much. They're not even giving you a full ounce, and they're charging you $80. I don't like the cost. Love the piece style and the way the proof looks, but I don't like the cost. Again, that I'm sorry. I just don't want to be a U.S. Mint.
Well, the problem is we're retailers.
Right.
And everything that we have bought from the mint, because we used to be like on a bulk program and get everything
Right.
new that came out. Well, and everything that didn't sell,
I'm
we're losing money on.
and I'm losing tens of
Right.
thousands of dollars every time I sell something. And you'll hear me on my auction say, "Well, there's another coin I lost money on." Eventually,
Yeah, I do not like the prices. I'm
No.
absolutely 100%. I agree 100%
I
with you on that.
don't want to be a mint pimp. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I agree 100% on that, but they have, like everything else, they have to keep up with the cost of things, I think. And
Not that
on most
much.
of their products, they're like $5 or $7 more than they were last year.
They don't-
I don't collect Eagles, so I can't comment about that. Certainly,
No.
I hated the price of the proof set this year. The silver proof set was outrageous.
No, you're not following what I'm saying. I understand they have
Oh,
to
I
keep
am.
up with the cost, but when they can sit there and they can sell the generic Eagles,
Right.
silver or gold, for so much lower than they sell them by putting them in a box and marking a W on them.
Right.
The wholesale on them are $5 or $6 or something for a silver Eagle over spot, but yet they're charging you so much more to make an Unk one, which is no different except for the W, and they put
The
it in a
finish
box.
is a little bit different.
The finish isn't enough different to say anything. But my point is, they're charging you almost $70 for that.
Right. That's
That's
I
$40
can't speak
more.
on that.
I understand they have to pay a little extra for the box and the capsule and the COA, but $40.
And they pay a new distribution center that puts it all together, packs it all together, and they have to pay them. So
Okay, well now let's go back. Let's go back and backtrack just a little more. That's my cost. Now,
Right.
how much is the mint actually selling to them for? So there's probably a $2 or $3 difference there. So they might be selling it to the Super 11 or whatever you want to call the guys that have a $25 million escrow with the mint. They may be selling to them for $2 or $3 over spot,
yeah.
or less.
So Public Law 9961 that was enacted July 9th of 1985 stated that the minimum spot over that they can charge is $2. They cannot go below that.
No,
That's
they were
legislation.
selling them less
That's
than
legislation.
that. They were selling them less than that about 6 years ago. They were $1.85 over from the U.S. Mint to the wholesalers. Because I know some of the guys that are connected. and
Is
that's
that
what they're
for products that they sell directly from their shop, Frostbite, or is that like the bulk programs that they do for dealers and stuff?
the bulk program is different.
Well, we were talking about bullion, so we were talking
Bullion,
about
yeah.
Eagles
Okay.
and things of
Okay.
that nature. We're not talking about circulated strike or proof
Okay.
coins. We're talking.
I just didn't know
about
if it was
In
different.
the
a different-
90s, the U.S. Mint was charging the distributors $1.25 over melt. So, I mean, they may have had a legislation out there, but it's just like everything else. The bigger you are, the more they work with you. I mean, it's just like buying soda pop. Walmart's going to get it cheaper than mom and pop convenience store. And mom and pop convenience store, most likely, is just going to go to Walmart and cancel their PepsiCo account. I could buy it cheaper there. And I used to do that. I had a convenience store years ago. That's what I did. But they put legislation in place for the coins, and they adhere to it mostly. But what you're saying, they charge $2 minimum? No, that wasn't the case. I was there. I knew what was going on.
Was that pre-85?
No, that was after it. They didn't make Eagles until 1986.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, I'm looking at the legislation in front of me.
Okay.
Now, they may have done some sort of program, but it stated that they cannot charge less than $2 over spot, and those prices are subject to change.
Okay.
And then
Here you
then
go.
They go through and they talk about.
Let's go all the way up to 2007. They were selling the W Eagles on the U.S. Mint website. I picked up 200 of them for 50 cents under melt from the Mint website. How was that? Partly because it wasn't changing the prices, but the day it clicked it where it was 50 cents under, I put an order in for 200 pieces. So I still got 20 or 30 of them sitting in my safes. Just a matter of finding them.
I'll pay you a spot for them. You'll make 50
Bet
cents
you
or so
would.
on it.
Because spot 1995 and spot jumped up to 2050. Remember the peak right around 2007 or so? It jumped up over 20 and then right back down. When it hit 2050, I was calling them in. I'm saying, you guys better not cancel my order. I was calling on them. Because I was worried that they were canceling my order because they do that sometimes. But yeah, they may have legislation out there, but now they just put the premium so high that they don't worry about no legislation. They don't have to because of situations like that were happening or they did do. But yeah, seriously, in 1995, 96, the wholesale was $1.25 over melt. The most recent that I remember being under $2 was around 2015, 2017, $1.85. So yeah.
Hey,
Tell you what, if you want to know what wholesale is direct from the mint, you can talk to my brother Mike. He deals with guys all the time. I don't talk to him as much.
real quick, Lex, 59. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. And wanted to reach out to Metal Scholar. Good evening. Thanks for joining us this evening in our discussion. Again, I'm
I got a chat over
my
here.
championing whatever, and everybody's heard me, and I'm sure y'all getting tired of it. But there's way too many people with their hands in the pot from the silver going from out of the ground to making those ASCs. When a citizen of Austria, a citizen of the United Kingdom, a citizen of Canada, a citizen of New Zealand, a citizen of Australia, they can walk into their mint, give them cash, fiat, and they get bullion directly from their mint.
I hate to break it to you. In 1933, you used to be able to walk into the mint and do that.
I know.
Because as a matter of fact, if you guys remember the story about them 1933 gold eagles where that big lawsuit was, the receipt stated 12 gold eagles without a year on it that very day that they were supposed to recall them. So they couldn't prove that guy hadn't gotten 1933s or not. The day they were supposed to recall him and melt him. So if I remember right, I think they won that lawsuit. I don't know.
If I recall, they wouldn't release them back. They didn't get fined or anything like that, but they wouldn't give them coins back.
Yeah, they kind of cheated them out of the money. But you remember that the receipt that they proved It just didn't have a date on the $20 golds they had purchased.
Right.
There's a lot of
Well,
times
where they messed up is sending it to the government saying, "Are these real?"
yeah, I know, right? They should have just tried to sell them and say, "Here's my receipt."
Yeah.
Once they'd have got hold of, if some big guy would have got hold of them, they would have fought the mint tooth and nail. This is legal. We got proof.
Yeah. What did that one sell for? 19 million or something like that? The one
Yep,
that's legal to
19
Oh,
own?
the one, that picture of my community page? Yeah, it was like 18-1 the last I remember. It probably went up again.
The guy sold 3 different coins for a total of $32 million. 3 gold
Is that
coins.
privately owned, or
It
is
was
it like
privately
in a
owned.
museum?
Yeah,
It was
Okay,
the rich
privately
baron that had all 3 of them.
owned.
Yep.
Ooh.
All 3 of what?
He had 3 gold coins. One of them was the Godden's Double Eagle 33.
Oh, okay.
One of
You had
them
me going
was-
there because I only knew of one of them then, and I still only know.
No, there
of
were
one of
3
them.
different gold coins. The total sell for the 3 coins was like $32 million, with
Nice.
18 or 19 million of it going on the one.
Yeah, 18.1. There's a picture of that coin on my community page. I tried to get him to let me hold it, and they're like, nope. They would have been Atmex, they would have let me hold it. Atmex is nicer people when it comes to that. Only because they kind of halfway know me, and they buy off me and sell to me and stuff. But yeah, then people didn't know me.
'Cause you're fancy. You're
No, insurance. They said insurance wouldn't cover it. They knew who I was, but they didn't really know who I was. They don't buy and sell a lot of stuff to me. The people that had it, and I think they had it. They were holding it on somebody else. It was in lock case insurance. They didn't have no guards sitting around like Atmex does. Atmex had guards sitting all over the place, man. When they're set up, and they let my wife hold a.
1909.
God, I can't even remember how heavy. There was a brick. Gold was around $1,400, and the brick was worth like $600,000. Gold brick.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to hold it in the case, and then they had already put it up. I was going by. Oh man, I was wanting my wife to, so she could show. Oh, here, I'll get it out for you. I think I was talking to Jacob. I'm not sure.
Was it Mike who was telling us that somebody was telling us that he knew someone who had a brick of, I think it was gold, and they wrapped it up in something and used it as a doorstop because they figured nobody would ever,
No, nobody
Look,
looked at it.
nobody had ever
now
looked
they
at
hear
their
us
doors.
talking about it.
never look at the, wow, that's a nice doorstop.
I've known lots of people to take their silver, paint it black, and put it down at the door.
Interesting.
We'll
Best
see.
way to hide it in plain sight.
Hide it in plain
Silver brick,
sight.
well,
Yeah.
a silver brick, people won't think about it.
I
They
would.
might not think about a gold, but I just wouldn't be willing to risk sitting 100-ounce gold brick on the ground. You know what I mean?
Man.
I just say, oh, that's just a hunk of metal. And I wouldn't be lying either.
It's probably safer
I-
than putting it in your Liberty safe.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was a jacked up story.
Yeah.
All of those secret codes that were done and turning them over for subpoena.
What
That was
happened?
messed
Without a subpoena.
without a
Without.
subpoena.
Yep.
What happened?
Liberty Safe turned over some secret squirrel
Mm.
codes to police without
Yeah,
a subpoena, and they were able
FBI.
to. The FBI, yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's there's a little bit of a stir around people who have Liberty safes.
A little.
You're gonna
Right.
you're gonna see a little bit of a market decline in Liberty come the next shareholders meeting.
Imagine there'll be a lot of returns too.
Angel said you could fill your fish tanks with silver shot down the bottom, like for rocks.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yes, that's
not a bad
really
idea
Good
at all.
idea.
And as if you don't
Put some
like
piranha
clean
in there.
if you don't clean the stuff, I don't know what you call it off the silver shot, it'll kind of green up or darken up. Just keep your
The
side.
algae.
Algae, yeah. I couldn't think of that word. Yeah, just let the
Yeah.
algae build up on it. And just don't let, well, if you got a catfish in there, little.
Yeah, so that Godden's 20 sold for 18.8 million.
Was it 18A?
Yep,
You just
Stuart
had to be
Weitzman was the
precise,
person
didn't
who
you?
had it. The three items that he sold was 1856 British Guiana 1 cent magenta stamp that he sold for $7 million.
Was that after buyer's
in-
premium? Is that what that was? That 18.8?
Say that again.
Did they add a buyer's premium on to come up with that 18.8, or was it before?
It doesn't state.
It's probably after it's added in.
Oh, was it
Good
Heritage?
evening.
Is that where?
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Sotheby's.
Sotheby's,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they have a
They have a
buyer's
buyer's
premium
premium too.
Fan, thanks for joining us. Good evening.
It's probably
Yeah,
with
the
buyer's
inverted
premium.
Jenny stamp. So you guys remember Brewster's Millions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the upside down
What
airplane.
a great
You remember
The
movie.
original
upside
with
down
Richard
airplane
Pryor,
called
by
the
the way,
inverted
folks.
Jenny. And that stamp sold for $15 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I remember that one
Brewster
from
mailed
Brewster's
it.
Millions because he sent that. That was one of the last items that he sent on. And that stamp, even as a kid, I was like, I know that stamp. And so when I read this story about him selling the three items and that stamp being one of them, but that stamp almost commanding the same amount of money as the Godden's double eagle.
Isn't that something?
It was crazy. Yeah. But $15 million for that stamp.
It's only paper, man. But yeah,
Crazy.
that-
Crazy. But yeah, they sold all three together for $32 million.
You want to know what's really funny about you had mentioned Brewster's Million? I just watched the movie again a couple months ago.
It's
Such a
a
great
movie.
movie.
It really
Oh my
is a
God.
great
It was
movie.
funny.
They just don't make them like they used
Let
to.
me pay you for holding my money.
Well, one of
You
the,
know why?
one of-
Because they have to be so careful about not hurting people's feelings and being politically correct and stuff like that. I mean, gosh, stuff was so funny back then. Like people could laugh at themselves.
Yeah, they could.
It's
oh,
So,
yeah, well,
the-
you could never pull off something like the history of the world now.
never.
Blazing
Mel
Saddles,
Brooks?
all
Come
of Mel Brooks
on.
stuff is would never be able to be done.
Never. He would have been canceled so fast.
yeah, you
Come
couldn't make
on.
those movies today.
I'm
No way.
surprised they still
You
let us
could make
watch
them.
them.
You just can't put them out on the air.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the chief of security, he
Oh
wanted
my
to
gosh, he's
inquire
so cute.
our community here. He wants to know what happened this past week when it came to spot prices, because he noticed that JM Bullion and SD Bullion actually had spot price deals all through last week, where you
I
can
saw
buy.
that.
Yeah, you can buy 5 generic. I forget it was a JM or SD, one of those guys. You can buy 5 generic Buffaloes at spot, all 5 at spot price.
I
I
saw
think-
that.
It has been such a long, in my opinion, and both of those companies' deals were open to everyone. And most of the time, they do spot deals only for like first-time customers. But with both of them, you could be a returning customer. But you don't want to be on camera anymore.
He's
What
so
I-
cute. Oh my god.
What I think happened is the companies have a surplus. If you remember right, back in August, silver dumped down below 2250. Well, if they have a surplus, they're just looking to move some inventory, hoping silver is going to go down further. That's what I think happened. They're just looking to move inventory, and they're not going to get hurt by sell. I think if they would have sold too many, they would have took that deal off immediately if they would have reached their limit.
No, it was.
They're just moving some of the product they bought in August 15th below that 2250 level.
Yeah, I think there's something else on that too. So earlier it was stated in there that somebody said that they've seen that stackers are feeling the pressure of the interest rates. And Don, you talked about this at the very beginning. How does the interest rate affect us? And I think one of the issues is while it's not guaranteed, while it's not something that absolutely happens, if interest rates go up, gold and silver drop. And I think
Nope.
that one, Keith's right? You got a bunch of people that are trying to offload, especially if you've bought it a little bit higher, try to offload it a little bit, take that initial hit, because if it does drop, you don't want to be set with upside down premiums. But the other thing is if there's this concern about it dropping, you're going to have a cease in the purchasing market for a little while prices drop. And if the prices drop, then people will start buying at the dip. what you're going to see is as prices start to drop, you're going to see people do sell-offs. And I think what they're trying to do in dropping the spot price is to get ahead of those sell-offs, get people to buy these items at spot, and then kind of capitalize a little bit later by purchasing back that gold when the price drops, or that silver when the price drops.
They have access to things normal people don't have access to. Insights. It's not insider trading. They just have better AI, I guess you could say, that can help them predict it. And I do believe that some of the silver that they're selling is some of that stuff that they bought cheaper. And the reason why they're dumping it is kind of exactly what you said. Outside of what you said of it may go down, I think they're just possibly looking to move some of their inventory that they can afford to move. And when they hit that level, they're going to stop. And if it goes down, they're going to load back up. Because I do the same thing. I'll take a hit on something if I think it's going to go down, but I'll only sell so many of them, until my limit says, okay, this is enough. Because if it doesn't go down, I cannot afford to sell anymore. And that's probably what they're doing. They're probably hoping, or they're probably reading into their AI charts or something, like you said, and thinking it might go down. But it's like a crystal ball. Nobody's got one.
No.
They're just guessing.
And to kind of tag along with that, if you, I want to say last month or so, I haven't really been like tracking it, specifically. But the thing I've noticed is for the 2023 regular bullion ASCs, the premium has shrunk. It shrunk a lot compared to where it's been for the last, 2 years or something like that. And that sparked my curiosity. I was even talking with somebody, about going out and buying it too, because it's the premium was so small, and this is specifically on 2023s now, that, it's like, well, why not? Buy it too, pack it away, and then, sell it on another day when the prices start sweeping back up.
The premiums on Silver Eagles went up 2 weeks ago, $1.50 higher. They were going down. Where they're going from here, I have no idea. I did notice the price rise was $1.50 per.
Oh, has it? Okay, so it's coming back up.
Hey, Stack, what you like? How you doing?
Doesn't mean it's going to stay up. It could have just went up because silver dropped. You know how they do that. Oh, well, we got to raise the premiums because we don't want to lose money.
But again, if I'm going to be stacking, I'm not buying Silver Eagles anyway.
Eagles were really high like a few months ago, right?
Now is a great time to buy Eagles because the thing is, and me being a dealer, and I'm going to be straight with all of you guys, yes, the premium is higher on Silver Eagles over rounds. But you know what? If silver was to ever get to $50 to $100, what do you think I'm going to pay more for? What do you think I'm going to buy under spot for if I had to buy something under spot because the premiums are gone? I'm more likely to buy a Silver Eagle over a generic round, and I will buy it stronger the higher spot gets. It's like gold. Are you going to buy a gold round or a bar over an eagle? No, because it's too darn expensive. You don't want to take the risk. I recommend if you're going to buy gold bars, you keep them down 5 grams or less because there's too many counterfeiters out there. The same thing is going to happen with silver. When it goes up, if it starts going up past 50, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, there's going to be a lot of people that have more faith in a sovereign type coin over just a generic round made by one of 100,000 companies around the world, unless that company is an established person like Asani or JM Bullion, Engelhard, and those already have premiums on them, so it doesn't matter. You might as well grab the Eagles or the Maple Leaf or the Kangaroo or something that's a sovereign nation coin. Just my
for a while there, you could buy Silver Eagles for $28 or $29 from the dealers.
Mm-hmm.
For a while.
I can't
It
remember.
didn't last very long though.
I can't remember who it was, but last week they online dealer was offering 10 gram gold bar at spot, and they sold out.
Yeah, there's always going to be those people. and I've said it before. Secret about fractional gold. I made a video on it. It holds true to gold over and over again. There's so many people out there that want to buy gold the cheapest way, that I believe Paula said it earlier in this show, that if you're just stacking, you're missing out on opportunities of collecting. Did you not say something about that, Paula, about collecting is you could miss stuff?
Yeah, I said that there's a lot of crossover between stacking and numismatics. Yeah.
And when you buy the cheapest, and I'm going to go back to it again, the 1991 half-ounce gold eagle versus the 1 ounce gold eagle. Now, these premiums are going to be off, but let's just use it as an example. You buy a 1 ounce gold eagle, it costs you melt plus 5%. Okay, to buy 2 half-ounce gold eagles from 1991, let's say the premium was double, melt plus 10%. So for an extra 5%, I mean, 5% of $2,000 is what? $100? Sounds like a lot, right? But gold wasn't that high back then. But now let's fast forward to today. You take that 1 ounce gold eagle from 1991, it's worth about the same money, an ounce of gold. But you take them 2 half ounces from 1991, you can trade them in for 4 ounces of gold. So you can't always stack the cheapest. You got to stack wisely. The key to stacking is variety, not just in size, but in type. Not just eagles, not maples, just type. You want to buy cheap, buy a gold bar. But you need something that has some type of possibility of accelerating past the bullion price itself. My opinion, for what it's worth.
That's why I like pre-33 gold.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
That has a plus, but you can't buy just pre-33. You got to buy variety.
True, but
pre-33 may get stale after a while. If that's all you got and it gets stale, here's an example, 90% versus pure silver. And you've seen it plenty of times in the past 2 years. One will be hot, the other won't. The other gets hot, the other don't. Back and forth, they've been going. One sells way over, the other don't. I mean, it's the same thing with old gold. I've seen that over decades.
That's how it's been the past, say, 2 years, because, premiums have been so high on ASCs, for example, that people were then rushing towards, constitutional, and then constitutional, shot up because of the, supply and demand.
Constitutional is reasonable right now, but as always, when it's reasonable, it's not available. People get tight when it gets too reasonable. I'm tight on it right now because nobody really wants to sell it when they can't get no big premium for it. Mm-hmm. And that's why, even though it's a reasonably priced item right now, a lot of shops are starting to run out of it because it's too cheap. There you go. Stacking Surfer said sold a Queen's Beast completer coin for $2,850. Oh, you put it up as I was reading the comment. You read my mind.
Yeah, no,
that's the example.
Yeah.
I still regret not buying that when it was sitting around forever for $1,900 or whatever it was.
I have bought coins from Matmex and haven't sold them. And 6 months or a year later, they're calling me saying, "Do you still got those?" And I'll turn around and ship them right back to them.
Well, congratulations, Stacking Surfer.
That was a good deal.
That was a good deal, and he's had it out for sale for a while.
But my point is, if you're going for the cheapest, you could miss out. But you shouldn't go for just the premiums either. You should mix it. Cheap, good. Cheap, good.
Variety is the spice of life.
Variety, yeah.
Hey, we're getting towards the top of the hour, and I wanted to bring up the last two things real quick. And first, probably I want to say Wednesday, I will be dropping a video, and it is related to cannolis. I will be having a contest related to cannolis. So keep an eye out on the channel. It's going to be a little contest. It's going to be
Wait, the food cannolis?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
well,
Is it an eating contest?
no.
Oh man.
The running joke is usually
Darn.
when I'm in chats with live streams, auctions, or whatever. My greeting is hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here's your breakfast. Here's your lunch, or here's your dinner, or after dinner mint cannoli. And there's no emoji for cannoli, so I used the burrito
Holy cannoli.
emoji. So I'm going to have a contest where I would like everyone to submit designs for a cannoli Department Numismatic cannoli sticker.
Nice.
And the details.
Can you make it a scratch and sniff?
Well, I don't know. Does sticker make scratch and sniff?
I don't know, but they should.
I would spend the extra money if they made a scratch and sniff sticker. I might have to actually look into that. But yeah, I will be dropping a video on Wednesday, and to talk about the content test and all the rules and what I'm looking for and all that stuff. And then we'll set up one of these Sunday evening live streams, and I will present the X number of designs, and I will let everyone in the community vote, and that will be the official cannoli sticker of the Department Numismatic channel. Cool. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that video. I got most of it done. I just need to tweak it a little bit more, but it'll drop Wednesday, probably Wednesday afternoon or so. Okay. So keep up. We're gonna have we'll have a little contest, and I think when we do the voting on the final design, I think I'll do a couple of giveaways and stuff like that, because last couple of months I've been really busy and things have been going on, but thanks to Keith and Mr. Frostbite and other folks in our community have been helping me, kind of motivate me, get back into it, get making some content as best I can. Just be, getting active back into our community. And, my numbers they're growing very slowly, but they're growing. So, it's time for me to do something to show appreciation to everybody in a small way. And, we'll do a 500, subscriber thing as we get closer, and, just like everybody else does. But I think I want to do one, in the next couple of weeks here, just to say thank you to everybody. Okay, and finally,
nothing wrong with slow growth. Nothing wrong with that.
No, well, I mean,
would it be wrong to say that's what she said?
That's what she said. Stop it, Frostbite. He's so nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it is what she said. I mean,
well,
jeez.
Okay, this is something important.
Well, so yeah.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah, I just wanted to spend a few more minutes talking about the significance of what happened on September 11th. And by the way, I was, before the show, help me out with the math, dude. The quadricentennial on the 2026, would that also be the 25th anniversary of September 11th?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does the numbers work out? I thought it would, but I was just curious.
It was September 11th, 2001. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that would make it 25th anniversary of.
Isn't 25 like a silver anniversary or something like that?
Well,
or is it golden? I don't know.
I brought it. I brought this point up because is the part of the quadricentennial celebration.
Semi-quincentennial.
Are they going to maybe have something to reflect on?
So they do have already bronze medals available, and they're still available at the Mint for purchase. One with the Twin Towers and one with the Pentagon. And on the back, the one with the Twin Towers, I think mentions was it 93, Flight 93?
Mm-hmm.
I think it mentions them too. I don't think they have one for Flight 93, but they do have one with the Twin Towers and with the Pentagon. So I'm not sure if they would redo something. They should. They absolutely should. I hadn't even thought about that being the 25th anniversary, but
Yeah,
they should do something special.
I think they should too.
They may make a medal, you know, like
well,
they
yeah,
were doing.
well, after I did, put in my comments, and I was thinking about it, and I was just like, because I wanted to bring up,
Hey, Can.
September 11th tonight, and I was like, wait a minute, counting the years, like, wait, isn't it, those numbers, line up? So, but
That was a rough
what I
day.
wanted to ask in everyone here on the panel, what do you remember about that day?
I was sitting on my ass.
I'll share. I'll tell you what, for me, I was working at Yorktown Naval, the Yorktown Naval Weapons Station in Yorktown, Virginia, at the sub facility, not sub, but the smaller facility next to it called Numismatics, and working on my oceanographic research equipment when the planes hit the Twin Tower. And my buddy and I, we were working in the warehouse, calibrating equipment, putting things away, inventorying, and we had no clue what happened. And we came out of the warehouse and we were going to leave base to go get some lunch. And as we were approaching the gate, the entire base, it seemed like the entire base security personnel were there at the gate. And they even brought in one of their up armored Humvees with the M240 mounted on it, pointed down range, so to speak. We had no clue. And we went Williamsburg, we had lunch, and then we came back to the gate, and it took us about an hour to an hour and a half to get back on base because they searched us, physically searched both of us, and then they tore the van apart. I mean, they took our toolkits apart. They went in there, looked at every little itsy bitty bit of if we had a case, we had a carry bag, whatever the case may be. They went through hand by hand and checked everything that we were carrying in that van. They even, lifted up, checked the spare tire. They had mirrors to check around the perimeter of the vehicle. They had the K9 unit come out and sniff everything down. But we still didn't quite understand what happened until, we actually got back to our normal workplace, and then we found the news. And, it was just people say, the greatest generation, they'll always remember December 7th, 1941. And for us, our generation, we'll always remember September 11th. And one other thing I wanted to bring up, and I saw this in a documentary, a year ago, 2 years ago, and I thought the same thing that the person said. On that day, the weather in the continental United States was mild. There was hardly any clouds in the sky. The sun was out. The temperatures were within the 70s across the continental United States. And it was in essence, it was a beautiful day. And that's the other thing that's going to stick with me about that day, and how a tragic event like that could happen with a beautiful sunny day out and mild weather, low humidity. It's like a yin yang thing or something out there. That's something else I'll remember about that day.
I was sitting in a dentist chair
Oh my goodness.
and watching TV, and I put my hand on the dental technician's chest. He was standing there, and I pushed him back a little bit. And I looked at him, and I'm like, did a plane just crash into the two towers? And he looked at me, and he's like, there's no way, kind of laughing it off. And he's like, and it just stopped, and everybody got quiet. Machines turned off. I mean, it just went pure silence. And people were looking, and we just sat there, and no machines were on. There was no water running. It was like the AC unit, and just nobody talking. Nobody mentioning anything. And so they're walking through, they were doing stuff, and then the second plane hit.
Crazy.
And we all just, tears started pouring down, like, what the hell is going on? And we just sat there. We all kind of looked at each other. It was like, what the hell is happening? Like, are we, as a nation, are we under attack, or are we at war? What the hell is going on? Nobody knew what was going on. And then we sat there, and I finally looked. I was like, I got to go. I've got to go find out what's going on, because I have an uncle who lived in New York, who did buildings, worked on Yankee Stadium, and was actually doing stuff like that. I needed to find out where they were at. And he had left the Twin Towers 2 hours prior to the attack. He had went to drop off some paperwork, was driving across town to deliver some items. And if he wouldn't have had to do his delivery, he would have actually been in the towers during the time of the attack. And it's people talk about, I remember where I was at when Reagan got shot. I was at Tooele Army Depot with my stepdad, seeing certain things. But this is one of those events that I'll never forget the feeling. I'll never forget where I was at. I remember the Challenger explosion, right? Those kind of things.
I was in middle school when it happened.
Yeah, we were sitting in the middle of class.
Yep.
Legs crossed, what's it called? Legs crossed applesauce, or applesauce, legs crossed, whatever it is. But what gets me is that there's nobody of legal drinking age or lower that knows the world without 9/11. 22 years ago. I mean, you think about that, right? Nobody that's under the legal age or has known the world without 9/11.
Without what?
Nobody under 21, nobody under the legal drinking age has known the world without 9/11.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
It's a crazy thought. I think that, 20 years ago, that's crazy. But yeah, I was sitting in the dentist chair. Very surreal.
I was sitting at my candy store. I used to own a candy store. I was sitting on my ass. Yep, and I literally was. I don't remember what I was doing on the computer, but Angel and I were listening to Howard Stern Morning Show, and they announced it, and we're like flabbergasted. So we still got dial-up internet, and we figure out how to make it work to where we're seeing Howard Stern stream live, and then we watch the second plane fly into. It's like it was just, and again, I just can't explain the feeling. My first actual words, outside of being flabbergasted, was my mom would be rolling over in her grave if she had witnessed this, because my mom had died 2 years prior. And you just can't explain the feeling you get when you see an attack on U.S. soil for no apparent reason. And Howard Stern stayed on the air for a long time. He'd normally off by like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something. He just stayed on. It was, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 he was still on. But it was crazy. Definitely a feeling that I don't want to feel again. It's about my story. I try to keep it short and sweet.
Mr. X?
I was in downtown Detroit in a high rise for a conference. And after the first plane hit, security guard came in. And after the second plane hit, they didn't tell us what was going on. After the second plane hit, they were evacuating everybody out of Detroit, out of all the high rises, because there were reports that there was other planes in the air and they didn't know. There was one that was heading, they thought, towards Detroit. And it took me like 4 hours to get out of the Detroit traffic. That normally takes about a half hour to get where I got. So I didn't get to see it. I got to see the replays, obviously, but I was sitting in a high-rise office building in downtown Detroit at a conference.
That would be so scary.
It was
Yeah,
a
Brown
little
Sugar says
unnerving.
that exactly right. People didn't know what to do.
I seen, and that's what was really freaking me out, was when that second tower was hit. I literally seen people on the computer jumping out of the tower. It's like
Yeah, they show it every year.
they
on
showed it,
TV.
yeah. And then there's that famous jumping man one,
Yeah.
in poor taste, but that was the kind of stuff that I was viewing, and it was scary.
Well, I think they show that stuff so that we don't ever forget.
But I don't think, but I
You
don't
know?
think they were intentionally showing it to.
No, not initially. I
Howard
don't think.
Stern was literally
Who would know?
streaming
Who
it.
could know? Yeah.
I remember they had one of the news crews that were fairly close that were following in the firefighters, and they were talking about going in,
Mm.
and you'd hear,
Yeah, hitting the. Yeah.
and
Bodies.
one of the news people were like, "What the hell is that?" And it's like, those are people jumping from the fire.
Yeah.
They're hitting the roof of the building.
Yeah, they were in an
And
oven. Like,
I'm an emotional person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. There are very few times that stuff like that really just chokes me up. That was killing me because it's like these people are spending however long it takes, 8, 10, 12 seconds. They can't say goodbye to their family. Their lives
No.
are coming to an end. They're dying a horrific death. It crushed my soul.
Yep.
To know what was happening.
Yep.
And I don't think I could forget, especially if you stay tuned and you really understood kind of what was happening, the premise that we had suffered an attack. This was always an overseas issue, even after Pearl Harbor and all that stuff. This was always an overseas issue.
Yeah, they brought it home.
And they brought it home, and it hit close, right? And I had, I had spent time in the Navy and done all that stuff, and seen conflict overseas, but this was against the nation I fought in blood for, right?
Mhm.
And I was not angry. I was tore up. I mean, just emotionally tore up.
I was
I got
pissed.
angry later.
Yeah.
I got angry later, but initially I was a wreck.
Something I learned the next day, on September 12th, at Buckingham Palace, the Queen ordered the Royal Guard, and they had the band with them, and they typically they'll play like an anthem or something related to the royal family in the United Kingdom and everything. But on September 12th, she ordered the Royal Guard to place the American flag in the place, which is typical. Okay, help me out with military, ceremonies and stuff. Usually the position of honor is to the right, and so she ordered the Union Jack and the American flag to be switched so that the U.S. flag was in the place of honor, and the band. From my understanding, this is the first time that the Royal Army or the Royal Military played the anthem of the United States in Buckingham Palace.
Nice.
There was not a dry eye in that crowd, and there was actually a couple of Americans there too. And the British people that were there, they just came over and hugged them, and let them know that they were part of us. And I even think, if I recall, it's either the prime minister or someone from the royal family actually came out and said, "Today we are all Americans."
Remember.
Wow.
And this is coming from the country.
I remember that they're.
I
This is
remember
the
You were
country that we
hard-pressed.
got our revolution from.
You were hard pressed to find or see a house around the country without an American flag. It ain't like that anymore, but it's a shame that feeling went away. It's a shame that feeling went away.
Speaking of which, if you do have a flag, remember it's got to be flown at half staff for the entire day tomorrow.
If you're able to fly it at half staff.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Frostbite. Thank you, Paula, and of course, Mr. Gen X. Thank you for
Absolutely.
being
Thanks
up
for
on this
having me
panel
up.
tonight. It was a very excellent discussion. I enjoyed it, and little bit of heat going back and forth on certain things, which is good. Keep the blood flowing.
So exciting.
And so thank you, folks, for being on panel. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And
Bye, guys. Thank you.
before we go, the saying with September 11th is never forget. And I would like to leave you with a simple Jewish prayer. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us as we remember them. Good night, everybody.
Bye.